Right now, Tom Alexander and Joe Teague conferring on the sidelines on what to do to get the two-point conversion. 42-40, the Trojans have never led in the ball game. They want to tie it for the second time here. Crescent calls timeout to make the Trojans think about it. We'll take one and be back in just a moment.
When do you want me to go down to the field? Not till it's over, okay. Okay.
The Manson Trojans, a valiant comeback attempt here. They have a minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. They're able to score the touchdown and get back to 42-40. It was tied earlier at 28-all. The Trojans had gone down by 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Came back to tie it in the third period. Went down by 2 again. And have come back here and are within 2 points with a minute and 30 to play. The winner to the King Dome, the loser to go home. What the Trojans need to do is get the 2-point conversion, hold Crescent for a minute and a half, and that is no easy job, Brian, and then go for the Kansas tiebreaker.
Scott, they were down by 8 points. They get the ball on their 4-yard line, control the ball for 5 full minutes, a 4th down play, a 3rd down and 10 play. They score after a 96-yard drive. Let's see what they do now.
The play of the season for the Manson Trojans. Phelps, the quarterback, 2-point conversion attempt. McClellan wide to the left. High backs behind Phelps. Rolling right side. Tries to tuck it in on his own. He is not in. Crescent holds. They lead by 2. Frank Phelps, slow getting up, but out of disappointment, I am sure. They put the wide receiver to the left side, hoping to draw the defensive attention there, one would suppose, and rolled Frank Phelps to the right. He had no room to get in, gave it the best shot, and could not. But we still have football game left with 1:30 to play in the ball game. Crescent 42-40 over the Manson Trojans. We have not seen the Trojans have to go with a squib kick yet. This might be the time for them to come up with that one. But really, no matter what the outcome of this football game, you have 2 truly outstanding football teams and football programs from Crescent and Manson. And this is the kind of ball game where you're going to see a lot of disappointment on the team that doesn't win, but probably, Brian, in a day or two, a lot of pride that comes right back.
I would think so, Scott. I can't imagine the game in the King Bowl being more exciting than this, no matter who's in it.
They'll tee it up at the near side hash mark to us. Dallas Clark will be kicking off for the Manson Trojans. They have everybody loaded up at the far side of the field from him. They'll try the cross-field squib kick here with a minute 30 to play in the game. The kick is away. It will not go the 10 yards required. It goes out of bounds at about the Trojan 48-yard line. Penalty flag down. They'll have to do it again. Dallas Clark a little unhappy with himself right now. And right now the yardage penalty not making that much difference at all.
It still only has to go 10 yards, Scott.
Right.
So that penalty is the one that Manson was smart to take instead of trying to down the ball before it went out of bounds.
Absolutely.
Of course, Crescent can take the ball in that position if they think about it.
And so, they do.
They will get the ball.
Okay, they do get the ball. The kick does not go 10 yards. The kick remains good. And right now, Crescent's saying, yeah, we'll take that on the penalty. And Crescent has the ball, 1st and 10. At the Trojan 46-yard line. I'm not sure how many times out the Trojans have, but I'm sure they're going to want to be using them if they have any left. So the onside kick does not succeed, and we have a great ball game here, 42-40. If there were 2 seconds on the clock, you still wouldn't call this one over the way it has gone. Barnes, the quarterback for the Crescent Ball Club. Has a team set, line of scrimmage, split backs behind him. Barnes turns, pitches, first man through, big hold out of the 40-yard line on down to the 36, near a first down yardage.
Gary Hallberg.
And you'd almost hope there that Hallberg would have gotten the first down because that would have stopped the clock, at least while they reset the chains. Now the Trojans forced to use out here. It will be 2nd down and 3 for Crescent when we come back with a minute 19 to play in the game. 42-40 Crescent. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hallberg's gained 105 yards in the second half. That's worth. What a football. You want me to go down even if it's a loss? Yes, that's right.
Was that a 60 or a 30?
30.
Okay, go ahead. 1:19 to play in the football game. It does not look good here for the Manson Trojans. They have a situation where they trail 42-40. With 1:19 left in the semifinals of the state championship playoff round. And Crescent coming out on a 2nd down and 3 at the Trojan 39-yard line. The Trojans must hold here. Barnes, the quarterback, split backs behind him again. Same formation we've seen all day. Long count at the line of scrimmage. Still counting, and still counting. Now takes it, gives through the center. It will be first down, Crescent. And that could be the ball game. Crescent cracks out of the Trojan 35-yard line to pick up the first down. And now the Trojans will call timeout again. So what the Trojans need here is to have the ball come back into their hands in some way. Coach Tom Alexander coming over and saying, no, Joe, this time you go out and confer with them. Tell them what you want them to do defensively. Joe Teague, for the Manson Trojans, their assistant coach. And over the years, Joe and Coach Tom Alexander have learned to know each other very well. They not only are coaches together, they do a lot of hunting together, a lot of socializing together. And as Coach Teague has handled the defense, this is what Coach Tom Alexander has said about his contributions to this Trojan football team.
He's spent a lot of the out of school, out of football time together, and he's the type of guy. He's very, very relaxed, calm. He tries to relax me, calm me down.
So, Joe Teague has gone out to try to talk to the Trojan football team, see if he can calm them down a bit. 1st and 10, Crescent, 1:14 to play in the ball game. They lead by 2 points at 42-40. Barnes, the quarterback, at the 35-yard line of the Trojans. Again, going with a long count from the line of scrimmage. Again, hands off, first man through. They'll plow it through up the center. And I still didn't pick up the number of the ball carrier.
It's Hallberg again.
Okay, Hallberg on the carry. And the clock continues to tick with 1 minute to play in the game. The Trojans here, I don't believe, will be calling the timeout. Chip Sackett getting up just a little bit slowly, but he is okay. And the clock will continue to tick away here. 2nd down and 7 for Crescent. They lead in the game by 2 points at the 33-yard line of the Manson Trojans. Barnes, the quarterback. Long count at the line of scrimmage. Will take the snap at about 35 seconds on the clock. Still counting, and now just falls on the football. With 33 seconds to go, they will not be able to let it just run out here. I don't believe they'll be forced to get off one more play, but for all practical purposes, that will do it. And down on the sideline, Coach Tom Alexander standing with his hat off, his face down to the floor. A coach who has taken a football team to the playoffs 5 out of 6 years. This is as far as they have gotten to the semifinals. 9 seconds on the clock. They'll have to get off one more play here. Barnes, the quarterback, as his crowd counts down, takes the snap. That's it. The clock runs out. It's all over. But what a football game. The Crescent Loggers defeat the Manson Trojans 42-40. And Crescent will be playing in the King Dome on December the 6th. The dejected Coach Tom Alexander and Coach Joe Teague moving across the sidelines to chat with the Crescent coaching staff as their celebration gets going down on the field. We're hoping that Sandy Miller will be able to find Coach Tom Alexander or Joe Teague or someone and chat with them when they have an opportunity to complete their congratulation of the Crescent Ball Club. And what a game it has been. As the Manson Trojans came out in the football game, we're down very early by 2 complete touchdowns. As you hear now, the Class B 11-man teams coming out to take the field. The Trojans were down by 2 touchdowns early and then managed to make the comeback, tied it up in the 3rd period, and finally came down after tying it up in the 3rd period to go down again by 2 touchdowns. And then came back again, but were unable to tie it up, and they go down to defeat at the hands of the Crescent Ball Club, the number 1 ranked team in the state, and are defeated by Crescent by a score of 42-40. Now, right now, I don't think we're going to be able to get to Coach Tom Alexander and Joe Teague as their players mobbed around them and chatting with them a little bit. So I don't think we'll have that opportunity at this point. We'll take one more commercial break here, and we'll come back in 60 seconds with a good look at the ball game in final form for you. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Yeah. Could I get you to take some of this stuff with you?
I have no room. I'm in a little tiny.
Oh, I thought you were in your van. Okay.
Do you want the scoring? Do you just want to wrap it up?
Now let's wrap it up. Well, let me finish the broadcast, and then we'll start getting out of here. There you go. 1, 2. Okay, go. The Manson Trojans were defeated on Thanksgiving Day in the Tacoma Dome, but it was not a defeat that one can walk away with any shame in at all. It was a 42-40 score. The Trojans never able to get the lead in the football game. They went down by 2 touchdowns very, very early in the game, came back with answering scores, started trading touchdowns. Looked in the early third period as though they would really dominate the second half. They got to a 22-all tie, or 28-all tie, and then in that third quarter, in something like 5 out of 6 plays, the Trojans had penalty flags thrown against them. One of those was not taken by their opponent because it wasn't advantageous to them, but the Trojans were hurt by penalties, and they were never able to really come back from that. They wound up down by 2 touchdowns again, then came back one more time, furiously, scoring with about a minute and a half to play in the football game to get it to that 42-40 margin. They put Frank Phelps out there to try to take the ball in, and could not come up with a 2-point conversion, and that spelled the defeat for the Manson Trojans, who wind up their season with the trophy as they walk out of here after a brief ceremony down on the sideline to make the Final Four. Ryan, is a very, very big accomplishment. The Trojans have to be very proud of that.
They should, Scott. The thing that sticks in my mind, they take over with 6.5 minutes left on their own 4-yard line. They're down by 8 points. They drive 96 yards. That was a stunning drive, an impressive drive. The fact that they couldn't score those last 2 points takes nothing away from the fine game that the Trojans played today.
Joe Barnes of the Crescent Loggers, an outstanding passer today as he threw for several touchdowns, and the Trojans' biggest problem today came in the area of pass defense. It's what they worked on and talked about in the second half at halftime. Made some improvements in that second half, but still were stung on the pass a couple of times, and that was enough for Crescent, coupled with the Trojans' penalty problems in the third period, to come up with a 2-point victory, and that's about what difference there is between these two teams. Brian, I think, is about 2 points.
That's true, Scott. They shut down very well the passing attack of the Crescent team, and Gary Hallberg deserves a tip of the hat from us because he gained about 110 yards in the second half rushing the ball. They adjusted at halftime, too. 2 points. I don't know what to say. I'm proud just to watch the thing. I'm stunned.
It has been a great experience for the Trojan football team. They lost to an excellent football team. They themselves are an excellent football team, and could very easily represent any league, any community very well in the Kingdom on December 6th. But they were 2 points shy of it, and that is the fact of the matter. So they will not, at least not this year. Coach Tom Alexander all year long has been extremely cooperative with us, and we want to publicly thank him for that. We want to thank also the folks who have gone the extra miles, and many extra miles, in sponsoring our broadcast of this Tacoma Dome appearance for the Manson Trojans. It has been a very special moment in the lives of that young football team, and for those who have helped us to give them the recognition that they deserve, our thanks go along to you. Once again, the final score from the Tacoma Dome, Crescent 42, the Manson Trojans 40, in an outstanding and absolutely great, a wonderfully exciting semifinal football game that the Trojans came up 2 points shy in. Scott Brondage, I want to say thanks to Chris Holt, to Sandy Miller, to Bonnie Brondage and Brian Borostik on the crew here, and to Scott Rusk, who's been putting up with us back in Chelan at the radio station. Thank you to you all. It's been a wonderful football season, and we look forward to basketball coming up on Radio Lake Chelan. Scott Brondage saying so long from the Tacoma Dome.